On the same day President Obama speaks to the world about violence across the Middle East, two news-making polls on America's relations with that region of the world and the recent riots overseas. Brand new hour here of America Live. Welcome, everyone. I'm Megyn Kelly. The new Rasmussen poll asked voters if U.S. relations with the Islamic world are better or worse than when President Obama took office 4 years ago. Look at this. 45% said they are worse. Just 18% thought things have gotten better. 31% believe the president has not made any difference, one way or the other. This morning, the president appeared before the United Nations and blamed this most recent unrest on a video that insulted Islam, portions of which wound up on YouTube. The Rasmussen polls show Americans do not quite believe that explanation. We'll get to that in a moment. Joining me now, Scott Rasmussen, president of RasmussenReports.com and author of the book, The People's Money. So, Scott, is it a partisan poll? Did you ask Democrats, Republicans, and independents when it comes to our relations with the Middle East?
Yes, and there's a huge partisan gap on this. Republicans overwhelmingly believe that relations with the Muslim world have gotten worse. Independent voters tend to share that view, not quite as strongly. But among Democrats, 32% say relations with the Muslim world have gotten better. Only 20% say they've gotten worse, and most say, pretty much the same.
Have you polled on that before? In other words, have you seen any sort of a shift, over the course of time that might link some of those behaviors or opinions to what we saw over the Middle East over the past 2 weeks?
Well, when the president first took office, we asked about expectations, and those too broke down in a partisan line. But the numbers have gotten gradually worse over the last few years. There was a hope early on that there might be an improvement in relations. But look, right now what we're seeing, the president talks about this video being the cause of the riots. Only 23% of voters nationwide believe that's the case. Most say, nope, this was a pre-planned attack.
I know you asked how likely is it that terrorists were involved in killing our U.S. ambassador. 65% say it was very likely. 20% say somewhat likely. So that's 85% saying they believe that this was a terrorist attack. Very small number saying it wasn't. The president has not gone quite that far, although others in his administration have. I mean, his spokesperson came out and said it should be obvious. It looks like the American public has a clear view on it.
There's certainly, they expect that terrorists were involved. About half think the Libyan government was formally involved. And you've got to remember, this all comes in the context of 2 out of 3 voters nationwide believe that there is a global battle, a global war between the Muslim world and Western civilization. Only 19% disagree.